2020. Under a lawless Trump, our system of checks and balances is being destroyed. How dare Drumpf ignore the rule of law in America? I can't believe it. 2021. Biden's novel evictions defense. Maybe it's illegal, but it's worth it. So the rule of law mattered under Trump, but not under Biden. And Biden actually gets praised for breaking the law. Got it. I'm Tyler Zed. Welcome to Zeducation. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to another episode of That Didn't Age Well. If you are new to this series, here on this series we highlight hypocritical and lying politicians, mainstream media, and celebrities and entertainers. In the intro, another example from our mainstream media pushing one thing under Trump when the same thing happens under Biden, it doesn't matter. Proving yet again that these places don't care about the truth. They don't care, they're politically motivated. And on this series, the main point that I want to portray is that power corrupts. These places, these institutions, you cannot and you should not trust them. And all of the evidence is in the pudding. We shouldn't be trusting these people. On today's list of things that didn't age well, we have more media hypocrisy, politicians like Cori Bush, Kamala Harris, the fact checkers, and we have the Obamas. There's some rules for you that you should follow, but when it comes to these people, these politicians, these celebrities, they don't have to follow those rules, and you're going to see that. But first, before we get into today's list, if you are a viewer of the podcast, the most recent episode will only be available on Apple and Spotify. Unfortunately, we will not have clips on the Zedcast YouTube channel. More on that in the next podcast episode. But if you want to listen to the most recent show, head over to your podcasting app. And while you're there, please help us out, give us a review, and continue to help our show grow. If you are ready for today's things that didn't age well, head down and like this video. And while you're down there, if you are new here, please make sure you are subscribed and have the bell clicked for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Now, on to today's list of things that didn't age well. Number 10. Like I said, there are a number of rules that the CDC says you should follow now. Whether you are vaccinated or not, you should be wearing a mask indoors. And now, your kids, when they go to public school, they're going to have to do the same thing. The CDC recommends indoor masking for all individuals aged 2 years and older. But the people that are in charge, the people with the loudest voices, celebrities, politicians, they don't follow those rules. Take, for example, Obama's 60th birthday party, where they set up this giant tent for hundreds of guests, and here is video of them dancing maskless. Wow. So, they say you should wear masks indoors, vaccinated or unvaccinated, but the people making these rules, the celebrities pushing these rules, they don't follow those rules either. It's so funny. Rules for thee, but not for me. Typical. Number 9. We all remember Orange Man and the kids in cages. It was the end of the world. You know, what a inhumane POS, right? That's what the narrative was. But now we're finding out that it's actually gotten worse under Biden. NBC News, audio from a government shelter for unaccompanied migrant children in Texas reveals allegations of sexual misconduct by staff towards minors, that children were running low on clean clothes and shoes, and reluctance to make public COVID outbreak. Wow, things are not going well there. And the numbers say there's a lot more people coming across the border as well. But nobody cares anymore. Look at this. It's not even a thing. There's no articles about it. Politicians aren't putting it out there. Nobody cares about the kids in cages, and the kids are still in cages. It's crazy how these things are hot issues pushed by the media, jammed down people's throats at certain times when it's politically viable. But now, when the problem still exists and seemingly is worse, nobody cares. Interesting. Number 8. For the last few years, there have been politicians like Cori Bush who have been screaming at the top of their lungs to defund the police. As you can see in her tweets, defund the police. Another one, defund the police. But it recently surfaced that Cori Bush has spent $70,000 on private security in the past 3 months. So protection and safety and help from the police is not okay, but it is okay for you? I'm not seeing much of a difference, because with the issues that do exist, and there are issues, we need police officers. We have to have police officers. We have to have help when we need help. That's just how it is. And this is how Cori Bush responded to this news.
I want to make sure I have security because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend $10 more on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police.
That person is in Congress. That person has power. Another sign that, yes, we are screwed, guys. We're screwed. Number 7. The Olympics this year was a ratings disaster. You had Americans playing for America protesting the American flag, which, turned a lot of people off. Turned me off. I didn't like it. That being said, China, they had a problem with us. The US media always have a way to put US on top, criticizing that we were number 1 in medal counts, but not number 1 in gold. But that didn't age well to this propagandist on Twitter because the US ended up with the most gold medals. So congrats to any American gold medalists out there who got a gold medal and deserved it. And I hope that a lot of these people that protested their own country, they don't play for their own country in the next Olympics because they don't deserve to. Number 6. Many of these people on the left, every single thing sadly comes down to skin color. They don't treat people equally. They don't treat them respectfully. Everything comes down to skin color. And recently, one of those people, Alyssa Milano, she had this to say about Kirk Cousins, the quarterback of the Vikings, when he said he wasn't going to take the vaccine. White guy gets a free pass for putting lives at risk. Black guy is stripped of his livelihood for taking a knee. But Alyssa, I know you're very, very ignorant, so that's why we're going to show this to you. Kirk Cousins is not the only player not taking the vaccines. For example, former Texan star DeAndre Hopkins questions NFL future because he won't get vaccine. Wow, and that guy isn't white, Alyssa. So maybe, like most times, this has nothing to do with skin color. It only is about skin color because you make it. Sadly, that's where your brain is. Hopefully that changes for you, Alyssa. Number 5. Along with these hypocrites when it comes to COVID, the other thing that has been very, very bizarre about this whole thing is you can't talk about it. Even saying the word COVID or vaccine, I run the risk of this video being removed. That's where we are. The people on social media, the big tech lords, they won't let you talk about it. And last week, Joe Rogan got into some more hot water. People were mad at Joe Rogan again, like this blue check mark.
Joe Rogan really went on his show that 11 million people listened to and said that vaccines are causing COVID mutations. And the reason scientists aren't talking about it is because they're afraid of getting canceled. We are all going to die.
Wow, Joe Rogan spreading misinformation. Wow. But guy, blue checkmark, hysterical, irrational blue checkmark, this came from NPR in February. Vaccines could drive the evolution of more COVID-19 mutants. That's NPR. You want to cancel NPR now, guy? And YouTube, you can go ahead and demonetize this video. You can take it down, whatever. But I'm telling you, this is where it's coming from. NPR. The big places, the big media. So quit silencing people. Let us actually talk about this and express our concerns because clearly there is not a good message being relayed by the White House and the media. Number 4. In a very tragic example here on this example, many people have not recovered from Trump derangement syndrome. For example, this blue checkmark, who tweeted this out, trying to think where I have seen the new Trump card insignia before. Still comparing Trump to World War II Germany. Still doing that. But this person, hey, maybe Trump got it from Nancy Pelosi's insignia. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he got it from the US Marine Corps insignia. You're an idiot. Number 3, the Washington Post has not been the only flip-flop media outlet when it comes to Trump versus Biden, when they do the same things. CNN also said this about Trump breaking the law. Dictator Trump. Trump intensifies assault on rule of law as he fights for re-election. Trump's unbroken pattern of disdain for the rule of law. Think Trump's acting like a dictator now? What if he's re-elected after this? How dare he? How dare he desecrate the rule of law? Because, right, you guys cared so much about that then. And here's what you had to write about Joe now. President Biden shows he's ready to make drastic moves in COVID-19 fight, even if he's not sure they're legal. Not sure they're legal. So what you would paint this as under Trump is he would be breaking the law, and he's a dictator for doing this. But this is how you worded it. You tried to make it sound like a good thing. So why the double standard, CNN? Number 2. For this one, I'm just going to read you guys these 2 tweets from a couple years ago. Really did not age well. Nancy Pelosi. Too many women are sexually assaulted while in college. Joined New York Governor Cuomo to discuss why. Andrew Cuomo. There should be a zero tolerance policy when it comes to sexual harassment and must send a clear message that this behavior is not tolerated. Do you still think that, or no? That's what we should know, because you had this stance before, or are you just pulling the politician like every career politician like yourself does? The past doesn't matter. You know, you're wishy-washy, your stances change. I don't know. We need to know, though, because that really did not age well. Number 1. For number 1, guys, we're going to clear up some misinformation out there, okay? Take it from PolitiFact. There was a post that said Joe Biden and Kamala Harris distrusted the COVID-19 vaccines. Yeah, and that's totally not true, okay? Don't believe your eyes when you see stuff like this from last year under Orange Man.
But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
That's a fact check false. PolitiFact, please fact check false that. From the New York Times. Biden seizing on worries of a rushed vaccine, warns Trump can't be trusted. PolitiFact, fact check false that, please. The New York Times is spreading misinformation. That was obviously before they knew that Biden was going to be in office, but clearly, you know, they had to attack Trump somehow, make it sound like he was untrustworthy, right? You know, doubting. That's what it seems like, but that's a fact check false. So PolitiFact, can you please fact check these places? Anyone who watched that video of Kamala Harris, don't believe your own eyes. That's a fact check false. All right, so we gotta quash this misinformation, guys. So help us out. Spread this fact check. Help out the internet, okay? What do you think about today's examples? Are you ready to trust the people telling you how to live your life now? The media outlets flip-flopping, the politicians living hypocritically? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite example was. While you're down there, please make sure you like this video. Please help me get it recommended to others. That's it for today's video. Until next time, I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Zeducation.
Idiots.